What's up, everybody? Carlton Flowers here, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And I wanted to do a very simple video here while I'm scrolling through the app to talk about strategy. In fact, I'm going to call this Strategy 2.0 because I have made the shift to phase 2 of my strategy for profiting from the VeVe app. Last spring, my strategy was to buy. And then as soon as I noticed that the items were selling like crazy on eBay, before we had a market, I would flip items on eBay, make cash, turn around and invest part of those 10x gains into buying more collectibles. So I was able to make $12,000 and still ended up with nearly 275 NFTs. From that point on, when the eBay market died down, when people started to realize I can get these things off of the app on the market, then I made the shift. So I started to think, is it wise to keep these things or should I start to get rid of things? Back then, I was a little bit worried because I thought the NFT bubble had popped and I thought that it probably would have been a wise thing to get rid of everything before that dip. But I was wrong because after that dip, prices went bananas. We went into the summer, and by the time we landed on the Disney drop, not the Disney drop, I'm sorry, the Spider-Man drop, as a matter of fact, we experienced one of the biggest gem squeeze that we have had to date, and that's when the prices on the market hit the toilet. That shook me up a second time and made me think maybe it was not so wise hanging on to all these things. I had quite a few items by that point, over 300, and I watched those prices go straight to the toilet. Lo and behold, prices started to climb up again, and they shot through the roof. And after watching the data, the charts, from the Rebel Duck, shout out to the Rebel Duck. And if you're not watching the Rebel Duck's videos, the reports showing the graphs with the price floors and ceilings and standard deviations on every single item on this app, you are messing up and you're not a serious collector because the people who are analyzing that data have an advantage over you. So I watched prices surge yet again. And then we came into the Disney drop. Now, sure enough, I knew it was going to happen. Prices crashed. But I tell you what, I crossed my fingers and said to myself, I'm going to go into this one and load up. And I'm switching the strategy from flipping to cover, so you're always break even, to taking a chance and risking it all by stacking up for the long haul. So when the drop came, the Disney drop, prices went through the floor. It was ridiculous. And while everyone was clamoring over the Disney drops, I was buying in the background. While everyone was trying to complete sets, I was just plucking off bargains. Now, I will admit right now that I don't even know what the benefits are to the Master Collector program. And as you can see here, I only have 8 full sets. There are several sets that I am 1 to 2 items away from that I haven't completed. But I am not yet convinced that I need to do that because right now I'm viewing each individual item as an investment opportunity where I can flip 10 to 100 times my investment money. Now, I'll keep a few sets, but it's dangerous for me because I will start hoarding. I'm already bad enough right now, sitting on 554 items. But I feel that if I start going for sets, it's going to get out of control because then it will be very hard for me to sell items that have the 10x to 100x gains. It'll be hard to loosen them from the grip of my fists. I tell you what, it's hard to me to sell something. It's very hard. Some of the items that I've sold, I miss. I seriously miss my Lady Rainicorn. There's several items that I miss. My Robin that I sold for $1,000 that I purchased for $69 while it was on the app back in the day when items would sit on the app and not sell. Well, let's just peruse through the market here. I want to show you a few things that I have been doing and things that I have noticed as far as the pricing trends. Let's start off with Ultraman. The EDO, I know, it's still low, 600 gems. It was down near 500 during the Disney drop. Ultraman, the secret rare, which I hold, was at a peak of $1,100 just a month ago. At the bottom of the Disney week, it hit 500 and now it's on its way back up. Although it is a slow crawl up for the secret rare Ultraman. Jumping into Adventure Time, BMO has jumped right back up. I saw it go down as low as 38 gems and we're sitting at a floor price of $64.99. Finn Mertens is already back to $68.95. It was as low as 38 gems. That is significant. Ice King was down around 100 gems after peaking at 175, making a comeback here with really a floor price of about 130. Sometimes you have to ignore the outliers, the lowest priced item, when you see several priced at the same amount. Then you can cross off the outliers and you know what your base price is. Jake the Dog, we know that it peaked during the fever. When it hit the fever pitch just a few weeks ago, it went to 200 gems. At the basement of Disney Week, it was down around 69 gems. It's already back to 99. Lady Rainicorn is back to $6.99. It was down around 540 gems during the Disney Week. Lumpy Space was at 74 gems at one point, rebounding back to 98, doing very nicely. Let's just move on to a few others, and then I'll make my point. Hang with me here. Back to the Future, the DeLorean, already back to 482 gems, and it dipped below 400 during Disney Week. Let's move on. Back to the Future 2, the Pitbull hoverboard at 308, making a slow comeback. It dipped down to, I believe, 289. And the Marty's hoverboard is making a slow comeback. It had dipped down to about 95 gems and it's at 118. Now let me just mention a couple more significant ones. And then, like I said, I will get to the point. Todd McFarlane Batman was at 1.3 thousand during the week. Already back to 1.5 thousand with a base level really at 1.6 thousand, $1,600. And there's only 3 of them at that, 1, 2, 3 at $1,600 and quickly moves to $1,700. That's basically where it was before Disney Week. You can scroll through all of these and you can see many more examples if you had paid attention to what was going on with the prices during the drop. For your sake, I hope you were paying attention. Because what I noticed, and this is the whole point, is that the rebound was strong and it was fast. You want to talk about a V-shaped bottom? That's what we had right here. Starfire back to 1.1 thousand. Big Barda back to 1,000. This is what you call a V-shaped bottom. Now, what's the point? Here's the point. Back in the good old days, I made a prediction that there would be so many drops that these items would never be able to sustain value because of so many people willing to dump and sell at a great loss on the market just to gain gems to get the new shiny thing. Well, I was wrong. And we can see it right here. Now, the uncommon Captain America, I had been stacking these up at a price between 38 and 42 gems. Let's look and see. I have 7 of them, and they're great numbers. That's while nobody was paying it any attention. Look at the common. It's up to 43.69. I bought this one for as low as 32 gems. I have 10 of them. Now, it is not breaking the bank at this point, but this tells me that it is going to be solid in the future. Once this number dips below, say, 100 left on the market, you better believe that the price is going to skyrocket. I bought a couple rares at less than retail. It is above retail now. Actually, I have 3. I forgot that I did that. Moving on along, let me just jump into one other set really quickly. And it's one that I have a complete set of. In fact, I have 2 complete sets. And it's the Marvel Mighties. If I can find where it is. Let's scroll down. There's so many of these things now, it's hard to find what you're looking for. Here we are. With the new set, I have all but one. And then I also do not have Captain Carter. Captain Carter is at 280. It dipped down to 179 gems last week. Too bad I didn't get it. But guess what? I'll wait until the next monumental drop, and this one will be mine. Scrolling on down, Bucky Barnes, 69, 70, 72. It was at about 59 during the week. Dr. Doom coming right back up, 495, 500, 500, 500, so on and so forth. I've got doubles of the original set and all but the one ultra rare on the new set. Thena is the one that I hold and is currently at 233 gems. I should have bought the other ultra rare during the week, but I will have to wait and get it for a bargain because it's back to 220 and it dipped down to 171 during the week. Here's something else that I've been doing. I've been stacking up Marvel Mighties, especially one particular character, and that is Steve Rogers, because people are arguing that you could call this item the first appearance of Captain America. Something else that people are saying is that the file size on the Marvel Mighties is super big, super large when you compare to other detailed pieces of art on the app. What does that mean? That means that this could be waiting to be animated, not just to move around, but to be played in a video game or in the metaverse. VeVeverse, rather. Now, that's not fact. That is rumor. But something has to be up with that file size. I have 11 editions, and I'm probably going to polish it off and make it 12, just because. Now, with these things that I have insight on, that I have multiples on, I'm stacking them up. And that's why I'm not so concerned with completing sets at this point. Because if Steve Rogers is acknowledged as the first appearance of Captain America and gets full animation and can be played in a game in the VeVeverse, I am going straight to the bank. I have enough that I can flip for a profit and keep one or two. Something else that I am doing is sitting on my Ghostbusters collection. There it is right there. I've been waiting for the movie to come out for quite some time. It's coming out this month. Ecto 1, I have all 3. That is one of my complete sets. I do not have the Ghost Trap. I would like to have had this, and I should have plucked it off when it dropped to 300 gems during the Spider-Man drop. I didn't. The Ghostbusters 1 logo is sitting at 268 and making steady progress, and it did not dip like everything else during Disney Week. I think that's because of the movie that is coming up. At the peak of the market during the spring, this item was selling for $550 on eBay. I'm pretty sure that sometime in the near future, it will return to that price. I'm packing a couple of Slimers, but then I have 15 Stay Puft Marshmallow Mans, whatever you want to call it. I have 15 of these fat guys. And as you know, this will be a feature in the movie with the miniature Stay Puft guys. What do you think is going to happen to price when that movie comes out and you see miniature Stay Puft Marshmallow Mins being sold at stores. Well, I'm hoping it explodes and goes back to its former high price of $350. I actually think that it could do better than that. So I'm sitting on it. So overall, strategy 2.0 for me is to pile up the items that nobody else is looking at. And while everyone is complaining that the drops are overloaded, the app is buggy, the app doesn't work right, the development team is not fixing the problems, it's unfair, they should close the market and keep it closed and not let anyone get a delivery before they can flip. While everyone else is clamoring about the problems with the drops, I'm sitting behind the scenes loading up. Some things you can complain about and help affect change, but there's a limit to that. And so when you are wanting to win in anything, when it involves strategy, and especially stocks and cryptos, you have to be a contrarian. If 95% of people are complaining about the fairness of the drop and wanting more items to make it more fair, 5% are sitting behind the scenes plucking off the most future valued items. That is my strategy 2.0. What do you think about that? And do you think I'm making a wise decision right now by not completing sets? I'm open to criticism. And like I said, I'm too afraid that I will become a hoarder if I start completing sets. But if you want to convince me, please feel free to correct me in the comments and tell me why I should focus on completing sets instead of spearheading items and getting them in bulk that have great future potential. Well, that's all I've got for this video. There will be many, many more on strategy, but I just wanted to get this talk in there and let you know what I have been up to. We'll talk soon, and see you in the comments, and join me in my Telegram channel, the Crypto Pro VeVe channel, if you would. We'll see you next time. This is Carlton, and I am out.